Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to a tarot reading for the first week in May 2025. It's Raina here. Oh boy, how have you been, Scorpio? We are coming into some time in May that should feel a lot more lively, a lot less like two steps forward or one step forward and two steps backwards with all the retrogrades and the eclipses. So I hope that you feel that momentum in May. This reading is for the first week in May. And yeah, so this is going to be a simple 3-card spread. Okay, well, I think I'm going to pick this card because it seems like it really dropped. I've been getting a lot of reverse cards. Well, part of it was I held up the deck wrong, or I had like the part of the decks. So I corrected that, but there still are reverse cards. And I read reverse cards, so don't get it twisted. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to hold it up, but just remember that this is reversed. 7 of Pentacles. This is a card of nurturing growth. So the farmer's card. They show here the plant, and this man is really watching it and, you know, there to watch it grow. And that's kind of what we are called to do when we're planting seeds and the seeds are sprouting, is that we're trying to see, okay, is this plant going to take shape? Now we can extend this to any area of life. We can say like a relationship. Maybe we're dating someone. We might be dating them for 6 months. And we're saying, you know, we're getting along really well. I wonder if this person is a keeper. I wonder if this is going to last, this relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to get married or whatever, move in together. I think Scorpio people might actually say to the person after 2 months, well, you know, do you see this turning into marriage? And then they're like, was it something I said? The person ghosts them. They never hear from them again because they're like, whoa, that's way too soon. So it could be, you know, Scorpio is a very, I want to say something other than intense. If you can find a word for me to describe Scorpio, let me know, because it sounds like a cliche at this point. But yeah, you guys are pretty intense about what it is that you want, your desires. And so that can sometimes lead a Scorpio person to, you know, want a relationship that may be not necessarily a good one, because they haven't given it enough time to really see how that other person is. And yet they're just there saying, I want this, I want this. And so because this is retrograding, reversed, I said retrograde because I have been getting a lot of reverse cards. And I'm like, okay, why am I getting so many reverse cards besides my own error in picking up the cards? And I think it's because we have had all these retrogrades, and May is going to be the month where even the shadow period is over with. Pluto, which is one of your rulers, will retrograde, and I think it's going to be on May 4th. So that could definitely be a thing. But even still, that doesn't mean that you're not going to experience a lot of forward movement. And so reading it in the reversed way, this card, this could be like throwing in the towel too soon or being on the verge of doing so. And this can also apply to relationships. Maybe you have been dating someone and it has been really nice, and you're like, okay, when is he going to ask me to marry him or talk about us having a future together? And I think, the reason I'm using he as a pronoun is because, yes, I am speaking to women, because I think women, and I think Scorpio women might be guilty of this sometimes, where you are dating someone and you're just kind of like disregarding the fact that it's kind of a learning process, to getting to know each other, and you just want to cut to the chase. You just remember, Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, so you do have that in common with Aries, where you might be, in certain cases, impatient. It's really a weird thing. Scorpio is a weird sign because you're a fixed sign, which makes you can be very, very patient in a certain sense, but when you have strong desires activated, I think that you can be incredibly impatient, but it's like this demanding quality that borders on obsession. It is actually obsession in some cases with Scorpio. But anyway, so it could be one of those things where you're kind of like disregarding the fact that you haven't really maybe given this person that much time. And you're already kind of like looking at that situation of like committed partnership, and it might be too soon to even do that, and you don't want to scare somebody off either. So it could be, I think that was a moth that just flew by. So that could actually be a very, what I would say, destructive thing to do, self-destructive thing to do. But let's look at the past position because it gives more information. The Moon card. Well, the Moon card can be intuition, so you may be sensing that something is not going to work out. Maybe you sense that somebody isn't being faithful. I do believe that this is a new situation. That's why you have to watch it to grow and stuff like that. But I mean, even when something is kind of like a dating situation, if that person, if you're like, I don't want to date you if you're dating somebody else, I just kind of want to date one person at a time, and that person agrees, and then you find out that they were dating other people, then that is a form of betrayal, I guess, and that isn't being honest. But I also think that this, in the tarot, the Moon card connects to Pisces. In in astrology, the Moon rules Cancer. Both of those are water signs. But Pisces is your fifth house, which is the dating scene. So maybe this is some kind of a timing card that is connected to, you had a lunar eclipse in Pisces back in September, 8 months ago almost. Well, probably like 7.5 months ago. And something may have transpired there that has left you in a place where you're just thinking of just like, stop watching it grow. Fifth house can also be the business that you own. So if you have been kind of like, I don't think this is going to work out, I've been trying and trying. And I do think the fixed signs have the danger of persisting with something way too long that isn't necessarily viable. That can happen. So that might be something that is not really for you, or a person who's not really for you. That is a possibility. The outcome card is the Page of Pentacles. So one one of the interpretations of this card is you could be, pages that are messages, and pentacles can be anything that has to do with money, but it can be actual money. It can be a job. So, and it can be about, the body, health. It can be anything about the earth, because pentacles is earth. So anything material, messages or communication about material matters could happen. You could be, getting some kind of message that there's a potential job offer. And maybe you were trying to start your business and you're like, you know what? I don't want to just rely on this. Oh, thank God I just got an email from someone who has a job. It could be going back to school, but it doesn't have to be that you're getting a degree. Maybe you're getting some kind of certification. Page of Pentacles can be student. It could be receiving a small sum of money, and maybe you use that for your certification. You could get an idea about some kind of business plan. And maybe if something that you wanted didn't kind of gel, it doesn't mean that all is lost. Also, this could be like an earth sign. So whether it's a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, you communicate with that person for whatever reason. Could be romantic, So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do the tarot, I do astrology. I do probably most of my readings are astrological readings, but I do the tarot alone sometimes, and sometimes it's in a package deal with an astrological reading. You can find out all of the different types of readings I have at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.